Hi everyone, Chris Natzke here with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching with your first Mind of a Champion tip of the week for 2020. So happy New Year to everyone, and I'm excited to begin another series of my weekly blogs and chat with you. And so it's the beginning of a new year, and if you're like me, there's a lot of things that you want to create and attract in your life this next year. And oftentimes this is a time for us to really take a look at a lot of things in our lives, as well as get really specific on some things that we want to achieve or maintain or projects we want to work on as well. But one of the things that I've noticed is oftentimes what we do is we think tremendously huge projects and things that we want to do, but after a while we begin to lose momentum because we're not able to break them down into really digestible habits. So what I want to talk about today is how we can utilize positive habits in this year to make transformational change in our lives. In 2019, one of the best books that I read was by author James Clear. It was called Atomic Habits. And he talked about the power of the 1% change. And basically what he said was this. He said, imagine if you took an activity that you wanted to get better at, and each day throughout the year, you just got 1% better. Choose, fill in the blank, whatever that is for you. But each day of the year, you just got 1% better than the day before. He said at the end of a year, if you came back a year later, you'd be 37 times better at that activity than you were at the start of the last year. Now, you might think, wow, that's pretty cool. And then he said, well, what happens if you maintained that activity and that pace of 1% better each day for 2 years? So initially I thought, well, that's probably 78 times better. But no. What happens is that activity compounds. You'd be 1,400 times better than you were 2 years before. And if you kept that pace up for 5 years, wait for it, you'd be 76 million times better. So that whole idea of habits, small habits, they don't add up, they compound. Let me say that again. Small habits don't add up, they compound. Now, this works from positive habits as well as negative habits. So, just think of 1 degree off, one small 1 percentage place off. And let's say you're a commercial pilot that's flying from Los Angeles to Hawaii, and your course is just 1% off south. Well, chances are you probably end up in New Zealand, not Hawaii. Now, I don't know that to be factually true, but you get the point. Or said another way, it's not that one donut that you eat, or it's not that one sugary soft drink that you drink. It's doing that donut or that sugary soft drink every day, maybe multiple times a day over weeks or months or years. So with that being said, so much of the changes that we can make this year, the positive changes we can make, are going to be based on small, consistent habits. There's a lot of talk about taking massive action, which sometimes can be great. But what I found is when we take small, consistent actions over time, that's when it nets great results. So what I want to share with you today are 5 habits that I think that we can all enact this year to make 2020 our best year yet. So the first thing is this, is number 1, is if you have something big that you want to create, break it down into small chunks. I mean, oftentimes we have these huge goals and we can be resistant to starting because they're so big, or we tend to put them off because we're just not ready to start. But break them down into small digestible chunks and start working at them consistently each and every day. And you'll be amazed what happens at the end of the year. Number 2 is pre-commit to your positive habits. Now, what do I mean by that? This is a time of year where many people are wanting to get in shape and they want to get to the gym or they want to get out walking or running. So rather than say to yourself, I'm going to get up tomorrow and do my run or do my workout, and then when you wake up that morning, decide whether or not you're going to do it when you're in that cozy, warm bed, actually put your workout clothes at the edge of your bed the night before. Or if you want to clean up your diet, make your meal the night before. Pre-commit to that. So when you wake up in the morning, the decision's already made. You've already committed to what that activity is going to be. So number 2 is pre-commit. Number 3 is to schedule your habits. The positive things that you want to enact in your life, make sure you schedule them. Maybe it's a date night with your spouse or maybe with one of your kids. And I happen to know that's been my experience, that nature abhors a vacuum. So if you're waiting until you have the time to do it, there's always going to be something that's going to come in and take up that time. And so what I found is the best way to deal with that is to pre-commit as well as to schedule those things I want to do, and they become anchors in my calendar. So if it's if it's an activity physically, if it's a date night, as I said before, you schedule around that because they become anchors in your calendar. Number 4 is surround yourself with people that are committed to healthy habits. If you're looking to exercise, if you're looking to have more of a positive look at life, if you're looking to eat better, surround yourself with people that are committed to those healthy habits as well. Jim Rohn, who was a famous speaker, would often say that we're a combination of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Right? So who are you spending time with? And when you have people that are committed to those healthy habits, you can help hold each other capable of that happening in your own life. And pretty soon you see some amazing things happen. And then finally, and one that we oftentimes don't think about, and I have to admit, I don't do a real good job in this as well, but is reward yourself. Reward yourself. So for instance, if you have a healthy habit, let's say you've decided this year that you want to create a meditation practice. After you've done 30 consecutive days or 15 consecutive days, whatever it is, give yourself a small reward. Now, I used to think that this was kind of bogus, but when I ran my martial arts school, I started to see adults that got so excited when they would learn a new skill and I'd put a piece of electrical tape on their belt. They get so excited about getting some sort of small reward. And I realized that we are all big kids anyway, despite how old we are. So what are some positive things that you can do to reward yourself when you start hitting various milestones in your healthy habits this year? So there you have it, my friends. There are 5 ideas that you can use this year to create some healthy habits in your life. Break it down, pre-commit, schedule your habits, find people to surround yourself that will support you, and finally reward yourself. So it's my hope that 2020 is going to be your best year yet. In fact, my free gift to you, if you look at the link below, is I've got a free offer for you. Just go ahead and click on it and you'll get it downloaded to you. It's the 7 questions to ask yourself to have an amazing year. It's a process that I take myself through each and every year. I do with my clients as well. And it's a great way for you to get really clear on your intentions and you can build your healthy habits off of that. So, this has been Chris Natzke with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching. If you enjoy this, please, as always, share, comment, like it, love it, whatever you want to do. And we'll see you next time on the Mind of a Champion Tip of the Week.